Hello, friends, and welcome to our YouTube channel, CareersTalk. My name is Sunil Sharma, and I'm a senior agile consultant based in Netherlands. And at CareersTalk, we invite industry leaders to share their knowledge with all of us. And friends, today we are going to discuss the most frequently asked Safe Scrum Master interview questions. These questions were shared by our community members based on their real interview experience from companies like Infosys, CGI, Accenture, BNY, Wells Fargo, Capgemini, Deloitte, and so many. So we have a pool of more than 100 plus safe interview questions. And from there, we picked today's session questions. And to help us, we have Harish Kumar. So about Harish, Harish has 2 decades of experience in IT. He's SPC certified and he's currently working as an enterprise agile coach. He has played a pivotal role in successfully completing several enterprise level transformation. And friends, before we begin, if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. We have tons of valuable content for you. And if you find this session informative, which I'm sure you will, please smash that like button. So without further delay, let's get started. Welcome, Harish. Thank you for giving your time today. Harish, over to you.
Thanks, Sunan, for the great introduction. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Harish, and I started my career as a CC++ developer, and then got into project and program management. And then for the past 6 years, I work as an enterprise agile coach for a company called Devon Software. It's almost 5 years. It's not 6 years, sorry, 5 years. So now I have come in CareersTalk first time. Thanks, Sunan, for giving me an opportunity. Here I'm going to discuss about what kind of answers you can give for Safe Scrum Master interview. So that's it
Thank
from
you.
my side. Thanks, Sunan, once again for the
Thank
opportunity.
you, Harish. Thank you. Okay, so if you allow, shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so the very first one is let's imagine that you are explaining the SAFE framework to a new team member. So how would you describe the importance or the significance of this small e in SAFE? So yeah, Rish, it's a little tricky one. So over to you.
Yeah, it's a very tricky question because everyone knows what is SAF, that is Scaled Agile Framework, right? E is the term belonging to or denoting the word enterprise. So when a new team member comes in, right, especially when you're working as a Scrum Master, a new team member would be at a level of a developer or a tester or a product owner. So their scope or their scope of understanding would be at team level, so they may not think about an enterprise level. So what I explain them is like the enterprise, whenever they have their thought process of bringing in any new ideas at team level, check whether that ideas will resonate with enterprise level. So how exactly I do is, like, say if they have a small team level objectives, I will always check with them whether those objectives are in sync and resonating with your enterprise level objectives. Say, for example, if there is a multi-factor authentication model that needs to be developed by a developer, whether that is in sync up with the enterprise objective of whether that is going to get implemented or not at enterprise level. Because no point in just for the curiosity of the developer, they should not develop that. So that way, I should always make sure that the team members' thought process are in sync with the enterprise level. So that's how I explain the word E to a team member or a developer. Yeah, that's it from my side. Yeah.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you for the explanation. Okay, shall we move on?
Sure.
Okay, okay. So next one is yeah, again little tricky one. So let's consider that you are presenting to senior management. So how would you explain the value streams in the context of SAFE? And you can include their importance, how they align with the business goal, and the different steps that is involved in creating and managing this effectively. So yeah, that's the question, Harish.
Um, yeah, so whenever we go to the senior management, right, always when we are presenting to senior management, we should be very clear and concise on the importance of whatever we are trying to tell. So, how do I explain value stream? Is first I'll just introduce value stream, how it is in SAFE. So, SAFE brings in or tells two types of value stream. One is the development value stream, and another one is the operational value stream. Okay. So first, I'll just explain what is the importance of value stream. And then tell them what is development value stream and then what operation value stream. So from my context, value stream is nothing but a list of activity that is done in any organization to deliver end value to the customer. So when it comes to operational value stream, I'll just tell them, suppose say if you take an example of a loan application. Suppose I'm presenting to a banking client, in a loan application development, web development of a loan application, your operational value stream is the loan process end to end. Like when the customer enters and asks for a loan and raise a request till he gets the loan, right? That is that forms part of your operational value stream. When it comes to development value stream, that is the list of activities that is required to develop that loan application so that the end customer can use. So here in these cases, the value streams are different, and the end user who uses that value stream are different. So in first case, in operational value stream, the end user is the actual customer. In the second case, the development value stream, the end user will validate is your loan officer or loan giving authority. So that is the difference tell say. And then coming to how you try to create value stream and then form the value stream, right? First we have to identify the value stream, and then what you do is design the boundaries of value stream. What is the start and where is the stop of each value stream? And then what we do is, like, we will find or organize or find out the key members who will be driving those value stream and driving the list of activities in this value stream, and then try to check what are the objectives of the value stream, priorities of the value stream, and then try to execute that value stream in a continuous mode. Like say launch the value stream, and then try to continuously bring in improvements on these value streams. So these are the some of the steps we can tell, and also finally implement the governance and coordination required for that value stream. Some of the real-time examples which I can give is, say for example, if you take the example of Amazon, right, where Amazon is a very great player in the retail sector. So the order fulfillment from the customer order raise to the end customer delivery of the order. So that is an entire uh, operational value stream. And then when you use your app, right, to give the order till you use your app to give your final customer feedback, that is the app module is your development value stream. So this is how I explain to the senior management. So that's it from my side, yeah, regarding this.
Wonderful, Harish. Thank you for that example as well. Okay, great. Let's move on. So next question is on PI planning. So if you can just explain what are the key activities which are done in a PI planning, and if you can also, describe the process that include the role involved, what's the outcome expected, and how do you ensure that this session is productive and aligned with the overall goal of the art. So that's the question for you, Harish.
It's a bit lengthy question
That's okay. We
because
have
a lot
enough
of
time.
things. So yeah, so so when answering this question, right, PA planning, usually the Scrum Master or the person who's attending the interview, they'll just start with exactly they will directly jump into PA planning activities. But what I do is, like, you have to just categorize the PA planning into three phases. One is your pre-PA planning phases, and then actual PA planning, and then the PA post PA planning and its execution. So you have to answer it in this way so that the interviewer is very clear, and the answer also looks like very structured. So so what exactly will happen in pre-PA planning? So first you have to identify what are the key roles, and we have to tell them that why pre-PA planning is required. Because if you in order to address a lot of unknowns during your PA planning and your PA execution, we should have this pre-PA planning preparation, and also what are the activities that is getting involved during your pre-PA planning is you have to set the contents. RT will try to set the contents and then draft the vision and then do some backlog refinement if possible, and then also try to ensure that the logistics required for your actual PA execution, PA planning event, right, is that in place. So that is one of the key. This is one of the key activity. So that what will happen is, see, practically when we did this, is a lot of misunderstanding or misalignment which may occur during your actual PA planning event, that gets ironed out. So this is one of the key thing, but this is often overlooked by RTs and program managers because of the time constraint, and then also we cannot bring in all people, because uh, the people will already be in some production releases and all those things. But I, as a scrum master or an RTE or a coach, I stress on this factor that we should have a pre-PA planning event for sure. That is one thing. Next is during your PA planning, right? The actual PA planning, the 2 day events, what we do is, like, say, we have to set the stage. That is the first thing. We have to follow this 2 day draft PA agenda given by the sales. So you don't need to exactly follow that line by line, but just align to that. Don't deviate a large. So first activity or first thing is like the business context that will be told by the business owners. They will just tell why we have assembled, what is the goal of this PI, and what we are planning to achieve. So that will be mostly an outcome based business context, where they will give some numbers, and they will also tell where we are now and then where we wanted to go. So for example, the simple business context will be, suppose if you take from um, a e-commerce portal which wants to improve their online presence. They wanted to improve the sales of their online products by, say, from 10% to 20%. So that will be the business contest, and they will also mention who are the competitors they are going to compete and all those things, and what should be the end goal of that. So from this, we will come to know that what is the current thing, what is the current sales, and what is the expected sales. That is the thing. Next, they will try to then they we have to tell about the product or the solution vision. This usually the product management team will try to bring in, where usually a chief product owner or a product head, they will come up with a product vision, like, in order to achieve this 10% increase in sales, what are the features you have to include in this product. So that is one of the key things. Say, for example, if I need to increase from 10 to 20% of sales, any new product addition should be there, or the catalog features need to be included, or the payment gateway, which currently assume we have only customers can pay only through credit cards. Should we include UPI payment, or any other newer ways of making the payment? And also the customer feedback about the delivery, can do those kind of features, can that will enhance this sales, that will be detailed in the product vision. And then the architecture vision also will be given by the architects, the technical team. So what they will tell is, like, in order to achieve this 10% increase in sales and also achieve these features, how should your architecture runway should look like? What are the uh, what are the backend tools I should give or implement from your architecture perspective? That also should be should be given. Say, for example, should I include any third party plugin, or for the payment gateway to enhance the faster checkout process and all those things, something of that sort. And then what happens is, like, say, once all these things are create done, the team and the scrum masters and the product owner come into action. They go into breakout session to come up with their draft plan. So now it is very clear what needs to be done at a business context level, and then the product level, and then the architecture level. So we have different different teams which will work on all these things. No, I forgot to tell one thing. So all these things will be transformed to a top 10 prioritized features. So that is the base criteria which SAFE recommends, that in order to run a PA planning 2 day PA planning session, the outcome, the input should be your top 10 features. So all these top 10 features may cater to the three different things which I talked about. One is business, next one is product, and another one is your architecture. Okay. Then what happens is the team breakdown. The team goes to a breakout room, come up with does a draft plan, and you can see the agenda and plan accordingly how many times the breakout will happen, and then any dependencies are there, any risks are there, all those things will be taken care in this breakout room. I think first day there are four team breakouts that is planned in different intervals, and then the second day of PA planning there are only two team breakouts that is planned. That's what I feel. So I'm just trying to tell my practical experience on how we have done. So there may be some deviation from the actual things given in the same, but this is required actually. That's the thing. Then what happens is the final. You come at the end of the day, whatever the draft plan that has been created by each team, that will be presented. You as a scrum master may need to present along with the product owner, and then tell what are the management problems, and then the management will try to take those problems, and then they will try to uh, come back on that in the next day. That is what the first day of the PA planning will have. Okay, then the next day, the day two, we have to finalize the plan, whatever the draft plan that has been created in the first day. The plan will be finalized. Now, what are the activities involved? Again, the same roles will be there, such as same the RTE will be there, the agile teams will be there, the product manager from management, and the business owners will be there. Now, again, what are the activities will be involved in the PA planning in the second day? So we are given the draft plan. So management will take a call what kind of adjustment that can be done, and what can be removed, or what can be added, what kind of dependencies the management can solve, they cannot solve. All these things comes as a part of the adjustment thing that will be done in a meeting in the first activity, as in the day two of PA planning. So and also there will be a management review. This all comes in a meeting. So we don't come up with a very formal meeting, just as a one-to-one mapping with safe agenda. We just call it as a, say, management review and a problem solving meeting, or some say review meeting, or something of that sort. Okay, the main challenges when you do these kind of meetings is the key stakeholders availability. So you as scrum master ensure that your product team is also available, and your product owners are also available. If you are acting as a RT level, ensure your leadership is available and informed. In case if they are not available, just get the updates and try to exactly align with the updates with your team member. That is very key in these kind of situations. And then what happens, and the all the meetings, problem solving, all those things are discussed, and the risks are discussed, and then they come up with the final plan. That final plan will contain what kind of features the team as a whole, the art as a whole is committing, and what kind of user stories and the team are committing. Okay, those things are those things are will get described in the final plan review. And then finally, what happens is we will try to do a confidence vote with all the team members, whether the PA objectives, whatever we have finalized, it is it is good to go and get executed. Okay, that is the final stage where we take the vote of confidence. Even if one team member gives a low confidence vote, then that's taken seriously, and then we do a rework of why the confidence is low, what is the reason behind that. So till we achieve a highest level of confidence vote, we run through this process, and then once everyone agrees on this confidence vote, we go and do a final retrospective of how the PA planning went. So this will cover the entire 2 day agenda of PA planning. Some of the challenges or practical challenges which we face when we are trying to do the PA planning session is, say, when you do a PA planning session with a distributed team, there is always a challenge. So you ensure that you give enough breaks. So sometimes we give enough breaks than mentioned in the actual agenda. So, and also when you plan a virtual PA planning session, don't plan it for strictly 2 days, plan it for 3 days, so that what happens, whatever if you are not able to complete within this 2 days, that can be compensated in the third day, so that we come up with an effective PA planning. And also be considerate of what timings which you will run these PA planning, because sometimes when you work with distributed teams, some of the teams may be from US, some may be from India, so there is uh, there is a different time zone, right, with which we work. So be considerate of that and plan the timings. And one more experience which we had is, if it is your first PA, if the project is newly started and it's your first PA, then expect the PA not to go successfully, because that's the indication we give to the leadership, because uh, all team members are new, and they don't they have not understood each other, and also that is one thing personally. And second thing is, the safe is a heavy weight, right? Like, say, there are a lot of information that should go in, and also the size is large, so the PA planning will be done with minimum, say, 50 to 100 members team. So getting all these people in line is the biggest challenge. So give an heads up to the leadership that this PA, we'll try to give a positive tone. We'll try to do maximum with a maximum success, but at the same time give a warning that there is a chances that it may go another way also. So something of this sort, just make the leadership apprised of, so that they are also aware of. So it should not happen that the leadership is thinking that, okay, we are all going safe scaled agile mode and we are always going to hit the success. So what we experience is, after 5 or 6 PAs, right? Minimum 3 PAs is required for the team to gel and come up with a very effective PA planning session. Okay, so that is that completes your 2 days PA planning, and then what happens is we do a post PA planning activity. This is sometimes optional, given as optional and safe. That's what I understand. I may be wrong, but this is a optional thing. Once vote of confidence given and PA retrospective is done in the actual PA planning, team goes and does the PA execution. But I insist on post PA planning activity also, to ensure that whatever commitment given by the team, that is still valid, there is no other problem. And then the backlogs, right, whatever backlogs which we derived out of the 2 days PA planning, that backlog changes, that has been integrated and sent back to your program backlog. That is also something you have to think about. And then the continuous communication, how are we going to maintain the continuous communication when we start executing the PA? How we are going to communicate to the leadership? Is it on a bi-weekly basis or on a monthly basis, or every week? That is something which also should be clear. So these are all some of the key things we have to ensure in your post PA planning activities. And then there was a question in that, right? How will you ensure your productivity and alignment? So in that, there are some key things which I need to talk about. So see, there are some say 8 or 9 points which I can give, which can ensure that the productivity and alignment is always intact in the entire PA execution, because the actual PA will span between 8 to 12 weeks, right? So ensuring productivity and alignment till 8 to 12 weeks is the biggest challenge. Okay. So first thing what I will do is, like, ensure that the objectives and the vision which we talked about in the PA planning time, right? It's always clear, even at the lowest team member level. That is one thing. And then ensure that you as a scrum master facilitate all the ceremonies in a very effective manner. All the ceremonies are time boxed, and any conflicts that comes are resolved also. So that is the things. And then ensure that the dependency management is always very at the highest possible efficiency. That is one thing, and it's always top notch. You can use the planning board, which is given by the safe, to understand the dependencies across team. And also internally in Jira or Azure DevOps, you can use dependency trackers to track these dependencies which are internal to the team. And then we also ensure the time management aspects of all the activities. Ensure that the user stories are estimated properly, all your ceremonies are time boxed, all your say team level ceremonies and also art level ceremonies or time box. And also next part which I will concentrate is your active participation of all team members on how to efficiently run this PA execution. Some of the other things which are also important, which sometimes overlooked, is the collaboration and the continuous improvement. So how do I bring in collaboration when I do PA execution? Is we use this collaboration channels such as Slack or Microsoft Teams, right? So I'll form a Teams channel for the team, and then try to ask the team member to give pop up any impediments in the Teams channel immediately. I'll ask them to not to wait till the next daily stand-up call, which will happen after 24 hours. So, if, for example, if there is a daily stand-up that is completed today, and there is some impediments that has been raised in next 1 hour, some team member finds out, you don't need to wait till the next daily stand-up to report it. So we just tell them that report it in the Teams channel and then log it in Jira. So even if the Jira is down for some reason, or Azure DevOps is down, we encourage the team member to use that collaborative tools such as Teams or Slack, so that the impediment is very transparent at the earliest to all team members and all the art members also, if possible. So in that case, the cycle time of solving the impediment decrease a lot. So this is one of the practical thing which we have implemented and worked well. So this is some of the ways where you can improve collaboration and ensure we are moving to a faster delivery. That is the thing. So when you do all these things, you can expect certain outcomes, and outcomes should always be adding business value. So some of the outcomes are, you'll have very aligned objectives, and then comprehensive plans. Your plans will be very comprehensive, and then your commitment will increase. This is one of the key thing, and see, this commitment is important at all level. So your commitment by your team will increase. Your commitment by your scrum master will increase, commitment with your product owners will increase, and that will get cascaded to your leadership also. So this is one of the key outcome which will be very evident. And also, since the commitment is increasing, accordingly the transparency also will follow on. So if you're so committed and you're achieving that commitment, then you don't need to hide anything. So that is the thing. So these are all the key expected outcome if you follow these things. So that answers my question, Sunanda. I'm done with my questions. Okay, if you want, I can give some practical examples of how we can set these things. But
I
this,
think we will
yeah.
cover that in upcoming questions, I think.
Okay,
So
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
thank you for this elaborated answer. I think you have covered all the activities. Nothing is left out of it. So
Yeah,
that's really great.
but sometimes we don't need to answer so much in the interview. But
Of course, of course.
yeah,
But here
it
I
was for,
really insist,
yeah,
Harish, to
this just
explain in
for a
detail.
knowledge purpose. Yeah,
Absolutely, because you can take your own notes and you can take
yeah,
whatever is given to you, but then we have to elaborate everything to you guys.
sure,
So we
sure.
cannot
Yeah.
just assume that you know the few things. Okay. Okay, so before we move on, Harish, can you adjust your camera a little bit? I don't want to interrupt you in between, so can you just adjust a little bit?
Sure.
Yes,
Is
this
it
is
fine?
perfectly okay. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay.
Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, let's suppose that you are coaching a team transitioning from a Scrum to a Safe, right? So how would you explain the key difference between a Scrum and a Safe? And you can like put your perspective with respect to the strength and how this Safe skill agile practices, help multiple teams and the programs. So yeah, Harish.
So when I'm transitioning the team from Scrum to Safe, see, what I understand practically is, if you also see the Safe big picture, Scrum is part of Safe. Okay, so so when I do this, the problem or practical problem which I feel is, if the team is getting involved right from beginning of the transformation, then the challenge is less, because we start advocating the safe principles and safe concept right from beginning. But practically it doesn't happen. We don't get all teams set, and then we start the transformation. So when my approach, whatever I'm going to give, my approach will work is, when a new team which is totally siloed and working in a safe and scrum environment is getting attached on an ad hoc basis to a scrum to a safe transmission. There will be a challenge because they would have seen only a smaller teams because they worked in scrum, and suddenly if they are put or introduced to a PA planning session or the safe concept, they may not be in a position to scale up. So in that case, what we do is we just I just take first thing is what is I'll just define the scope of scrum and scope of safe. What scrum, what are the rules in scrum, what are the things that are followed in scrum clearly that they know, and then what is the corresponding mapping in safe, how you as a scrum team fit into safe. That is something which I'll just start coaching the team, and then slowly make them understand how you are to work with other teams. And I'll just introduce what is a scrum of scrum and what are the art level ceremonies that the team should be aware of and all those things. That is one thing. And second thing is, just to link to the first question which you asked, right, I will also make sure that team understands what is enterprise level scaling and enterprise level thinking. That part in that enterprise that I will just try to promote it, and then make them understand how to how to fit in that the enterprise level into their thinking. That I will do. And then what I do is like I'll make sure how the planning happens in safe versus the planning in Scrum. Say, for example, in Scrum, you have sprint planning. That is the very key event, and that is the highest level of event that happens in a Scrum environment. In safe, sprint planning also, the iteration planning happens because they have renamed the sprint to iteration. That is equivalent to sprint planning, but the next level of planning is your PA planning. So I'll make sure they understand what is PA planning, what are the things they should prepare in PA planning. My previous question answers, right, that will help a lot for you to prepare on how to coach the team on this PA planning and all those things. And next, what I also tell is like how the integration delivery happens. Say, for example, in Scrum, it is all in a sprint, and then at the end of the sprint, there is a sprint demo that is given. But in Safe, there will be an iteration demo that will happen after the end of every iteration. At the same time, that module, that demo part, should be integrated with other teams' demo also, and we will give a system demo, something at a high level, which happens at an art level. So that also I will just tell with the team that what are the importance of system demo, how they should prepare for the system demo, and all those things. And then finally, I'll also talk about the governance and alignments, how the governance happen in Safe when compared to Scrum. Say, for example, Scrum is very team centric. So they will always talk about team excellence, and then talk about the product increment at the team level. But when it comes to Safe, it is the word E, right, the enterprise level thing. So Safe needs to be customer centric even at enterprise level, and also have this enterprise level alignment. So that's what the thinking of enterprise level thinking, right, that I'll try to again advocate that. And finally, I'll just tell what are the strengths of Safe and Scrum. They will understand the things based on this. I'll try to make them understand and derive the what are the strength of Scrum and strength of Safe, so that they are aligned and they are equipped to work in a safe environment. And one more final thing which I will tell is I'll always make them understand and remember, develop on cadence and release on demand. Okay, which is also advocated in Scrum, because we have to have always a shippable product at the end of every sprint. That's what Scrum and Agile advocates. But that shippable product need not be deployed to production. That is what is release on demand says. But development cadence is something which is happened in Scrum because there is one or two teams is involved. Because the develop on cadence means like we have to uh, have consistent iteration duration, right? Say, suppose I work with 3 or 4 scrum teams or 8 scrum teams, all 8 scrum teams should start the sprint or start the iteration on the same day and end on the same day, so that the duration should be constant. That is what I'm just telling, develop on cadence. So it means that if it's a 2 week sprint, all 8 teams should follow a 2 week sprint. If it is a 3 or 4 week sprint, all 8 teams should follow a 3 or 4 week sprint. Now, achieving this is the biggest challenge. There are practical challenge which you have to address it. Okay. So that these are all some of the things which I will incorporate while coaching the team. Of course, you can also bring in other coaching tools such as Mentimeter and then uh, Miro and Mural boards to make them understand all these concepts and take some feedbacks and surveys on how they're understanding, and also conduct a maturity level assessment as we go on and execute the PIs. So these are the ways I'll do it, Sunan.
Wonderful, Harish.
Thanks.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. The next question is, if you can describe about the prioritization process within a SAFe, that will be great.
Yeah. So here, based on my experience, I wanted to give a different dimension to prioritization, because practically what I felt is the moment prioritization comes, right, particularly in a scaling thing, people just restrict themselves to, you have to prioritize the backlog. That is the thing. So they will explain how to prioritize a backlog, and how to prioritize your product backlog, and how to prioritize your program backlog or portfolio backlog. But prioritization is a higher we should have a holistic picture on this prioritization. This is my way of looking into things. Practically also, it helped me a lot. You can also try to implement. So I start my prioritization right from high level. That is, when I worked as an RTE and also as an SPC coach, coaching leaders and coaching the VPs and the portfolio manager. I introduced this prioritization in their strategic thinking, say strategic themes. The strategic themes are themes that has been created at the start, and that themes will get converted into epics and features, and that features will get broken down into user stories and then a task at team level, and they just deliver it. So we start the prioritization technique on prioritizing the strategic themes. Of course, we don't give complex framework and all for that. We just tell based on the horizons. There is a concept called horizons in SAFe. How SAFe categorize the different product development into different horizons. So based on the horizons, I will ask the product team which comes up with the strategic themes to prioritize the things. That is one thing. So that their prioritization can be prioritization process can be applied. And then we have your portfolio backlog. Your strategic themes will get converted to epics features, and then that comes to your portfolio backlog. If you have a portfolio SAFe, it will come to portfolio backlog, and then there you do apply your prioritization. Here it is more of an empirical way, because SAFe introduced the concept of WSJF, weighted shortest job first. So you can use this technique. So we coach a product team to how to use WSJF and how to come up with the weighted shortest job first, and then come up with the prioritization. Then what happens is, we once the portfolio backlog is prioritized, then we will be ready. Suppose some features are approved, then we will be ready to conduct our PI planning, right? In PI planning, we also come up with the top 10 features. That is also one prioritization thing which we have to consider during that time. So we do a future prioritization there. And so whatever we have done in our portfolio backlog prioritization, WSJF, we take top 10 features out of it and then put it in our PA planning and do our PA execution. And then what happens once we do our PA planning, sorry, it's not PA execution, PA planning, we will come up with a commitment with list of user stories, and then we come to our team level backlog and do our prioritization. Here we do prioritization based on the Moscow technique or there is some more technique, like say highest business value, which gives highest business value from a both from a technical and the functional perspective. So those kind of prioritizations we do, and product owner does this, and we just give it to the team for execution. It will be more of a from a user perspective, because at this stage when we come to team level backlog, the user stories are well written, and we do that prioritization. And then what happens, there are other places where you can bring in prioritization. Uh, this is something which is my view, probably my idea, you can tell, where we can bring in. See, we have continuous exploration and continuous feedback, right, which is part and parcel of agile, right? We can also prioritize the customer feedbacks which we get, and also explore any new ideas that has come which can be prioritized and set as a strategic theme. That is the thing. And one more place where we can use prioritization is outcome of an inspect and adapt workshop. Suppose we complete a inspect and adapt workshop, and we found a solution for a burning problem that can be prioritized in your either in your portfolio backlog or in your team backlog, and then and then you can take it for execution and completion. And other places where we can do prioritization is your economic framework, right? So we have our agile economics, which we talked, the first agile principle, take an economic view. There we can check what are the features, the cost of delay is more, and then we can take that and put that as a consideration and prioritize that and put it in your either in your strategic team or portfolio backlog. Or the development cost, which has the lowest development cost and highest business value, that can be prioritized and put it in your put it in your backlog. So these are all some of the ways which you can try to do it. And you can also use some frameworks, say framework concepts, the Kanban concepts on, say, work in progress, and all those things to priority. Assume that you're executing the iteration, and you feel that one of the one of the column in your Jira board or Scrum board or your iteration board has breached the WIP. Okay, WIP limit is 5 for a development swim lane, but it has become 10. Then you can prioritize your work and ask your all your team members to work on it to reduce it to from 10 to 5. So this is how I look prioritization. So it should be a part and parcel of your thought process. So so this also covers the entire gamut of prioritization, and I think I also introduced different prioritization technique in my answers. So if you channelize and structure your answer in this way, it will be two things you will achieve. One is it will be different, and it will differentiate yourself from other scrum masters. So this is what my thought process or my
Yeah,
dimension of giving prioritization.
thank you.
That's it,
Wonderful.
Sunil.
Thank you, Harish, for that. Great. Okay, so next question is on matrices. So, what are the different matrices which you track and use to measure the performance and the progress of your team within the safe framework? And explain like how these matrices provide the insight and they drive the continuous improvement across the organization. So yeah, that's the question, Harish, on matrices.
Yeah. So when it comes to matrices, what we do is, say, we I follow the concept of say classifying the matrices at different level when it comes to safe, because we have different level, right? We have the team level, we have program level, and then we have an enterprise level. So I will think like in all these three angles, and then come up with what kind of matrices we can do. So first thing is, when it comes to team level matrices, it is more of say what you say the standard iteration level metrics, right? Such as, say, sprint velocity. We will check whether what is the commitment ratio, committed versus completed ratio. And then also we will also measure what is the build success ratio, how when there is a check in and check out happens on a daily basis among the developers, what is how many times the build is failing or how many times the build is a success. That also we will try to bring in. And then what we do is we also bring in quality metrics such as, say, uh, defect density, and then code quality measurement, and then also the escape defects. Okay, I'm not going into the details of what is defect density and all. You can just find out, but these are all some of the metrics we will bring in. And one of the key important metrics which will be useful for scrum master and also product owner is your iteration demo score or sprint demo score. So this, what we do is we do a demo at the end of the sprint or iteration, and then ask the product owners and other stakeholders to rate the quality of the demo in the scale of 1 to 5, 1 being worst and 5 being best. So when you get this demo score on every sprint on sprint, on any iteration on iteration, we will come to know how the team is performing, how the product is getting evolved. So these are all some of the key metrics I'll track at team level. When it comes to a program level, that is the next level, right? We go beyond team. We try to calculate, we try to measure the PA objective completion rate, and then the future progress report, how well the features are getting progress, and then also the PA predictability measure. Say, sorry, art predictability measure. Whenever the art is completing a PI, how much predictable the art is, so that we can extrapolate and check how many features they can complete in next 2 or 3 PI. So that is some of the metrics we will measure at program level. And when it comes to portfolio level, we also measure what is the strategic alignment rate at which the strategic teams are getting aligned with the program and with the team. That is one thing. And also we track epic progress, like how we track the feature progress at program level, we also track at epic progress. And also we also assess the value delivery. Say, assume that there are around 4 epics that has been delivered in around 6 PI. What is the value delivery the customer has achieved, and what is the CSAT score, customer satisfaction score, which the customer is giving. So, and also we also calculate some of the standard metrics at portfolio level, say ROI, return on investment, and then user adoption rate. Say, suppose I deliver a product, how many users are getting using it, is the user count is increasing or user count is decreasing, what is it? So these are all some of the things, metrics we can measure when you execute a project in safe. And then if you're executing a transformation, right, safe transformation, suppose you're going to transform from a waterfall or scrum to a safe, there are some transformation level metrics which you can track. So one is the employee engagement, how the employee engagement before the transformation and after the transformation. Next one is the overall customer feedback. See, a customer for a transformation is different from a customer for a product. A customer for a transformation is your senior leaders, whether they are happy with the transformation, are they getting ROI on the money spent on the transformation. So that is your customer feedback. We can get the feedback from them how the transformation is going on. And then third one is how you can match the business outcome which we get from your end product or end user to the transformation, how it has gelled well or not. So whether the revenue growth has increased after bringing in these kind of safe practices, or the market share has increased, or the operational efficiency has increased. So these are all you have standard formula to calculate all these things. So these are all some of the things you can bring into the leadership and tell them that your metrics, your transformation has really worked out, and at the same time the customer is also happy. So these are all some of the ways we can show the metrics. Sunand, I'm done with my answer. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay. Okay. So, friends, we still have a lot of questions, but I think this session is almost like 50 to 60 minute session we have already done with Harish. So of course we have multiple more questions still pending, and of course we will going to have more sessions with Harish in future. So I think for a time being, Harish, we can take a pause on this session and let's create more sessions. It's going to be a series of questions. So this is part one, friends, and we are going to have more session with Harish in future. Please comment part two. We'll try to bring that part two very soon with Harish. And thank you, Harish, for joining us today. And friends, we hope that you found this session helpful. Don't forget to like this video, show your support. Please share this session on your LinkedIn profile. This way, your colleagues and friends can also benefit from this session. And if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and become a part of our CareersTalk family. So till then, see you in our next session. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Harish, one more time.
Thanks, Sunan, for this wonderful opportunity. This is my first YouTube channel interview. I'm not very open guy for these kind of things, but
That's okay.
still I wanted to make sure that my experience is useful to others also, so that if someone gets a
Wonderful.
job out of this input, that's something it's great. Yeah, just wanted
Wonderful.
to contribute. Yeah.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you. Thanks,
Thanks, Sunan.
everyone.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you. Bye bye. We'll see you next time.
Bye.